Hey, sorry, looks like I had to turn off and go back on again. I forgot to turn something off that could have sounded itself during the broadcast. Anyway, so this is Carl Rubino, and this is my Live from a Distance weekly Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern live stream broadcast on Facebook on my facebook.com/Carl Rubino music site, where I play mostly my own songs, occasionally a cover. I'll throw a cover in tonight, as a matter of fact, because somebody sent me an email requesting that I do a cover tonight, pick my own, so I did. And so if you're new to this, you don't know that following the live broadcast, I post, sometimes immediately, sometimes an hour or two later, I post a recording of the broadcast tonight. So I see somebody's come on. Can you tell me how the sound is? Lynn, hi. How's the sound? Lynn, can you hear it? How's the sound? How's the audio? Well, I'm guessing it's okay. So I'm going to start with a cover. One of my favorite writers is Paul Simon, so I think I'll do one of his. I'll do Duncan. It's as loud as I can get it. Couple in the next room, they bound to win a prize. They've been going at it all night long. Well, I'm trying to get some sleep, but these motel walls are cheap. Lincoln Duncan is my name, and here's my song. Here's my song. My father was a fisherman, my mama was a fisherman's friend, and I was born in the boredom and the chowder. When I reached my prime, I left my home in the Maritimes and headed down the turnpike for New England. Sweet New England. Holes in my confidence, holes in the knees of my jeans. I was left without a penny in my pocket. Ooh-wee, I was destitute as a kid could be, and I wished I wore a ring so I could hock it. I'd like to hock it. Young girl in a parking lot, preaching to the crowd, singing sacred songs and reading from the Bible. I told her I was lost, she told me about the Pentecost, and I seen that girl as the road to my survival. Later on that very same night, I crept to her tent with a flashlight, and my long years of innocence ended. She took me to the woods, saying, here comes something and it feels so good. And I'm just like a dog, I was befriended. I was befriended. Oh, what a night, oh, what a garden of delight. Even now that sweet memory lingers. I'm playing my guitar, lying underneath the stars, thanking the Lord for my fingers, for my fingers. My father was a fisherman, my mother was a fisherman's friend, and I was born in the boredom and the chowder. When I reached my prime, I left my home in the Maritimes and headed down the turnpike for New England. Sweet New England. Yeah, so that was Paul Simon's Duncan, written and performed many years ago. I think just by him after he and Art Garfunkel split up, or at least one of the times after they split up. So, hi Ashley, how you doing? Yeah, Lynn, I guess I was talking a little bit low earlier, and that's why the volume was down. And then when I sing, I get a little bit louder, so I guess it's working out okay. That's good to hear. So, let's see. I think I'll do one of the songs off of my CD. When I perform, when I play out, this is one of the most requested songs. Or when I did play out, haven't done that in a long time, and I was planning on getting back to playing out, and I actually had some things lined up, but thanks to our wonderful coronavirus, that's kind of it. Any performance that I had lined up, I had a festival, I had a small room performance lined up, and some other things in the works, and they all obviously fell through with Corona. So this is the next best thing. This is Jimmy and Stella. Love doesn't always play in tune. Jimmy was a truck driving man and Stella was a star of the night. To see those two together was a really sorry sight. One too many bottles had been pressed to Jimmy's lips. One too many men had been drawn to Stella's hips. Jimmy's 18 wheels no longer fly from coast to coast. Stella's days are over as a suburban housewife host. To say that they were tired and spent was an understatement at best. But in their own kind of special way, they shared a little tenderness. And they danced to the beat of a different drummer. They tangoed on the dark side of the moon. It's hard to see what they saw in each other, but love doesn't always play in tune. It wasn't always quite the same, they had different lives back when. Jimmy drove those 18 wheels for pride and a dividend, till his wife took off and took the kids while his wheels rolled through the west. And he came back and lived alone and tried his level best. Stella kept a house and kids and a mortgage round her neck. As long as she could hold back the debt her husband left her with. They built their love out of loneliness, desperation to find their dreams. But no one's keeping score no more, and no one's giving in. And they danced to the beat of a different drummer. They tangoed on the dark side of the moon. It's hard to see what they saw in each other, but love doesn't always play in tune. And they go out on Friday nights to a local roadhouse bar. Stella'd take the keys from Jim so he couldn't get too far. Jimmy'd take a seat at the bar, he'd settle in for the night. Stella, she'd get restless, she was really quite a sight. In a tight red skirt that said it all and made the boys want more. Stella'd sit with her back to the bar, her eyes fixed at the door. A tall, dark stranger'd saunter in and Stella'd saunter out. Jimmy'd only notice if his money had run out. And they danced to the beat of a different drummer. They tangoed on the dark side of the moon. It's hard to see what they saw in each other, but love doesn't always play in tune. Yeah, Jimmy'd say, bartender, another Boilermaker, please. Stella'd be in the parking lot, she was anybody's squeeze. It might have been a Freightliner, a Bulldog, or a Peterbilt. Stella'd be in the back of the cab without the slightest hint of guilt. And as the bartender would announce, last call, Stella would drift back in. She'd straighten out her skirt and wake up Jimmy with a pat on the chin. They'd venture out in the dark at night, arm in arm or hand in hand. Each night was the same, like it was the way things had always been. And they danced to the beat of a different drummer. They tangoed on the dark side of the moon. It's hard to see what they saw in each other, but love doesn't always play in tune. Yeah, love doesn't always play in tune. Yeah, love doesn't always play in tune. Jimmy and Stella, Love Doesn't Always Play in Tune. It's on my my CD, which is on Spotify. So you ever want to hear that? There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can go onto my Facebook.com Carl Rubino Music page and find this video, or you can go onto my website, carlrubinomusic.com, and go onto the music page and either hook up onto the Spotify link or one of the other links on the page, or you go direct to Spotify and look for me, Carl Rubino Artist, and pick it out, or any of the other 9. Tammy, hi, how you doing? Nice to see you again. So, let's see. Anybody got any questions or want to start a conversation about anything? That's always cool. This next song that I'm going to do, this is going to be a challenge because I never play this thing. It's on my record. Let's see what happens. Grab some water first. So, hang on just a second. I got to get out of this rig here to get this. How's everybody doing? Staying healthy? Beginning to have some fun maybe? But carefully, I hope. We're doing pretty well here in the Adirondacks, but Lynn, you're down in Florida. I guess it's, well, I don't know if you're there. I mean, maybe you are. Florida's having a tough time, huh? Hi, Ashley. How you doing? Nice to see you here again. I appreciate it. So, okay. Here comes, I Can't Start to Miss You. So, sometimes I talk about the stories of where this song came from. Truth is, I don't remember. You say if I don't change my ways that you won't stick around. You say you'll leave me home alone and go out on the town. You tell me if you left me, I'd regret the day. You say that I'd be lonely until I'm old and gray. You tell me if I went away, I would miss you so, and I dread the day, my darling, I let you go. Well, I don't know, and I can't say if I'll be sad and blue, but there's one thing I know for sure, and here's my song to you. Well, I can't start to miss you if you won't get going, and I can't start to miss you if you still hang on. I can't have an empty feeling if you won't go away. I can't feel alone and blue if all you do is stay. You tell me if you left me, I'd be blue and all alone. And a house without you, darling, would be just an empty home. You say I'd search forever until I got you back, and I couldn't make it on my own, 'cause I ain't got the knack. You say if you left me, I would have a heavy heart, and if I keep on acting this way, then someday we will part. You may be right, you may be wrong, it's really hard to say, but we'll never really know for sure if we don't reach that day. And I can't start to miss you if you won't get gone. I can't start to miss you if you still hang on. I can't have an empty feeling if you won't go away. I can't feel alone and blue if all you do is stay. Now I don't need to tell you, we ain't getting on. Like a song without a rhythm, like a rhythm without a song. It ain't a simple question of who is right or wrong. It's just a combination of things that means the spark is gone. And it really ain't your absence I feel I'll dread. It's not the hurt of seeing you depart that's stirring in my head. It's worse to think you staying when I'm ready for a brand new start, 'cause you raised domestic suffering to a brand new form of art. And I can't start to miss you if you won't get gone. I can't start to miss you if you still hang on. I can't have an empty feeling if you won't go away. I can't feel alone and blue if all you do is stay. I love that song. So, okay, so I'll tell a story about it. Many years ago, in my prior marriage, I had this music room up on top of the stairs above the kitchen. And my ex was down in the kitchen doing something, I don't know what, and I was up in the music room writing songs for my CD that was going to then come out. And she said, "You writing any songs for me?" I said, "Sort of." Anyway, it just might have been this song. That's life. That's what all the people say. Shot down in April and you get back up in May. Someday I'm going to learn that song. I don't know it yet, but I'm working on that arrangement of it. I love it. But I'm not going to do that now because I don't know that song. So, let's see. What do we got for post? Yeah, Naples. Well, I'm glad Naples is good. Migrant farmers really suffering. Yeah, close quarters, so-called essential people. which kind of means not the people that can work from home. They're getting screwed. There's a song on my CD. I think I played it here once. What the hell's the title? I forgot the title. Anyway, it's about the haves and the have-nots. It's a pretty cool song. Anyway, so let's see. Let me find another one to do. We're approaching the half an hour. So okay, so I just did a kind of a screw you sort of a love song. Let me do the song, the Dear John song. Well, before I do that, I know, Lynn, I know you know this because you've been here, I think, every single one of these. Tammy and Ashley, a little newer, so maybe not. And then other people may tune in later. So here's my little spiel. I do this every Thursday at 6 o'clock Eastern here on Facebook.com/Carl Rubino Music, not my personal profile page, but this page. And then I post the live broadcast to the Facebook page sometime after the broadcast, so you can always catch it, or prior ones there. As far as I know, they stay on Facebook forever. I do have some stuff on YouTube too. You can find a link to my YouTube by going to my website, carlrubinomusic.com, which is kind of the central place to find out anything about what I'm planning to do. One thing I'm planning to do this was my plan before COVID. I was hoping to put it into play this summer, but that's not going to happen. I want to do house concerts. House concerts are something where someone who appreciates the music of a performer invites them literally to their house, apartment. I guess it could be their club or their camp or whatever it might be. And they don't typically pay the performer to show up, but what they do is they invite friends who they think will like that person's music, and then they put the hook on the friends to make a nice donation to the guy or girl who shows up. So I was hoping to do that, and like people would try to get maybe 20 people to their house. So obviously that can't be done indoors, and now that's something I'm looking at for next year. So if anybody wanted to see what that's about, on my website there's a section on house concerts. They're kind of cool. One thing I might do is instead of the typical house concert where you'd actually be inside the person's house, I might do a driveway or backyard where you could socially distance that. But that'd take some planning ahead, because you got to put a series of those things together for it to make any sense. You go from like one to the next to the other like you're doing a tour. Anyway, that's a lot of rambling about what's going to happen. So anyway, I'm also going to release a single, one of the newer songs that I've played on one of the prior lives. I'm not sure which one. Probably Leaving on a Fast Train would be one of them, or maybe 2 Days Out. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but that's coming. To stay on top of when that would be, you could go to my website and subscribe to my newsletter. You get a newsletter every couple of months or so. Anyway, let me do my final song for tonight. Just an old tear-stained letter. In a box inside my closet, behind some seldom worn old clothes, I keep my life's locked up treasures, the kinds of things that no one knows. And if you look, you'd find, my darling, photograph of you and me, lying right along beside it is something you once sent to me. Just an old tear-stained letter. I read it over once again. Just an old tear-stained letter. It asked if we could still be friends. Just an old tear-stained letter is all that I have left of you. Just an old tear-stained letter. Tear-stained memories of you. I guess I should have seen it coming. It was really plain as day. All the cards lay on the table. When the smoke had cleared away, if I could turn the hands of time, push back the sand that's washed away, I'd give up half of my tomorrows for a single yesterday. Just an old tear-stained letter. I read it over once again. Just an old tear-stained letter that asked if we could still be friends. Just an old tear-stained letter is all that I have left of you. Just an old tear-stained letter. Tear-stained memories of you. Just an old tear-stained letter. Tear-stained memories of you. So, just an old tear-stained letter, also on the CD. So the songs on the CD as well as the CD are available for digital download or hard copy in various locations. You could go to my website and look at music, the music tab, and if you're interested you can see how to acquire those. One thing that I'd really appreciate is you guys sharing my Facebook broadcast of this on your Facebook pages, so more people show up. I screwed up this week. Some weeks I post stuff. I'll do a little reminder on Facebook or Instagram that I'm doing this, and it really makes a difference. I mean, that's what makes a difference between having a few people and a dozen or so or more show up. I screwed up and didn't do that this week, but you guys can be my allies and post that stuff for me. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming to see live music. It's really the only way we people who do it can get out there and do it, and it means a lot. So love and kindness to all of you. Be safe, be well, and hope to see you next week. Anybody got any questions or anything before I kick off? Lynn, thank you. I appreciate that compliment a lot. What was my most recent inspiration? Tammy, okay, great. I'm writing a song, a couple of songs right now. Tammy, I love these questions. You asked similar things last time about, where do I get my ideas from and stuff like that. So my most frequent recent inspirations. So I'm doing a song right now. Let's see. Let's see if I can do a little preview. If you're loving, if the whiskey don't kill me, you're loving will. That's just the intro to it. If the whiskey don't kill me, your lovin' will. What's the inspiration for that? I don't know. I don't drink. But I just wanted to do a drinking song. because I know a lot of people during the COVID shutdown are doing a lot of drinking, so I thought that'd be a good one. Another inspiration for a song. I'll just do the first part of this, because I'm not ready to do the rest. Musical inspiration these days. We don't do much walking these days, but I got some different lyrics. We don't make love like we used to. I'll just leave it at that. Where'd that inspiration come from? Well, I don't know, I just made it up. I think that's just a fact of a lot of people's lives. So those are a couple of inspirations. I got some others, but I'll let it go for now. But thank you for the question. I really appreciate it. So let's see. Any other questions that we got here? Or remarks? I guess we're done. If you came in late, everybody, and you want to see what you missed, go check it out on Facebook.com, Carl Rubino Music. I'll post this in a little while. Look forward to Thursdays, my friend. Me too, Tammy. Gosh, we haven't seen each other for years. Maybe someday we'll bump into each other around somewhere in the Adirondacks. I'm Irish, so I like the intro. Yeah, well, that's what I hear. The Irish might like that song. Maybe it's a St. Patty's Day song. Anyway, love to everybody. See you all, my friends. Bye-bye.